52 years old. I'm married. We've been married now for 30 years. Been together for over 37 years. We have 6 children. Well, life for me growing up, I lost my dad in a car accident when I was 5 years old. With that, it was a lot of responsibility kind of put on me, just doing different things as we did it.
My mom and dad divorced when I was 5 years old. So we both kind of found ourselves without dads when we were younger.
I met Tyra in the summer of 1985. She was 15 and I was 14. Didn't realize probably within 8 months we would be in a position that, left alone what was going to happen. It was the first time that she had ever had sex, and we found ourselves pregnant not long after. At that age, I was 15 at that time, so as a 15-year-old would have, I was like, okay, what do I do? How do I do? I had full intentions. I was afraid, yet excited. We had a conversation. I said, well, I'm gonna quit football. I'm gonna get a job and help with the baby. I was explaining to an old girlfriend, I can't be with you anymore. I got, some other priorities going on, and she kind of drove up and saw us having a conversation at a track meet. We kind of, stopped talking for maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
And the next conversation we kind of had was, I took care of it.
Took care of it, yeah.
And I was like, you took care of what? She went on to explain that she had mom had taken her and she had had an abortion. Of course, at that moment, I didn't know what an abortion was. I actually had to look it up to see what had happened. Yeah, I had no idea what an abortion was.
I didn't know that.
And I remember even at that moment feeling defeated. A momentarily sigh of relief that as a 15-year-old, you don't have to deal with the responsibility. But at the same time, you felt the guilt and the weight of what didn't I do to make this situation better? I didn't have a choice in it, or I didn't have a say-so. By not saying anything or not being there or not being vocal about it, you are making a decision that you would regret later on.
I'm listening real intently because this is the first time that Mike's ever talked about it. Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember, just kind of the conversation, the disbelief of, okay, wow, here we are. At that moment, I remember everything going silent in my life. Wow, okay. Everything going silent in my life. I remember thinking, oh my God, I've ruined his life, my life. What are we gonna do? And I just remember feeling very isolated and like such a failure.
Having abortion or being absent in that decision-making process, it has a lot of guilt. It has a lot of shame that's attached to it. And I believe the only way that we really came through the healing process of it was, our relationship with the Lord, dealing with deep emotional wounds that really caused us to get off of the surface, to look at that situation real deep. We were there for each other. We didn't blame one or the other.
More and more having the conversations, we're able to dig into different depths of what happened. I think for me, describing abortion is the closest place that you can come to experiencing death without dying. Because I had to literally face my baby in a jar after being, sucked out of me. And so no one told me what was going to happen on the other side of those doors. That was never explained to me.
You can really learn from the pain that somebody else went through. And if our story can change anybody, that's what we want to make sure that we're doing.